At the moment of recording, the altcoin market is coming down pretty hard, and it might be a good thing if you have extra cash, because if you know that you are going to dollar cost into the right projects, then this is nothing more than a great opportunity. So in this video, I will show you when I will start buying altcoins, what altcoins I'm gonna start to buy, and what I expect, because it's not dying. It's not dying. It's giving us such a great opportunity. So I'm pretty happy this happens, although it is, of course, very painful. We all know that it's painful, and yeah, we have to go through that. So welcome to Fomo Factory. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'll try to update a little bit with a new banner, a new logo and all that. Let me know. It looks good, right? It looks pretty cool. It's decent. Like, I like it. Right. So let's take a look at the crypto market at the moment. I'm shooting this video a little on forehand, but it doesn't matter. It's not time sensitive or anything, but this is the long-term information you need. And I already want to compliment you if you're watching this video, because a lot of people already gave up, right? People felt like, oh, the market is painful and then it's getting boring. Yeah, it could get more boring than it is already. Therefore, you want to work right now, because now is actually the time to make the most out of it, right? So let's take a look at the market. And I just want to show you an example, man. And I think you are really going to like this, because, for example, Near Protocol, we are doing the Crypto Community Challenge, and also are we doing the Crypto Portfolio Challenge, right? And one of the portfolios that I'm going to buy into is portfolio with coins called by Crypto Banter. Well, I could have done that a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago. For example, they called Near Protocol, right? Good project. So if I'd done that, right, I could have bought Near in April for like $17. But still, I could have bought it just, you know, in the June dip, even in the June dip, where it was $3.50, $4, and it went all the way to $6 in the relief rally. But now it looks like it's finding new lows, because Near is now $2.93. So I already bought some Near. Why? Well, because it is low. It is lower than it has been in a long time, right? And it doesn't mean it can't get any lower. Therefore, you want a dollar cost. So what I'm doing with this portfolio is also what I'm doing with my personal portfolio, just dollar costing into it. Because if it gets higher, okay, cool, I'm gonna miss out on some gains, but I'm riding the wave at least up with the money I already have. If it gets lower, then also fine, because I can buy more. I mean, if you believe in the project that you're buying, you know that at a certain point it will go back up, right? That depends on Bitcoin, mostly, right? So let's first take a look at Bitcoin. Again, for the people that haven't seen this is going to be very interesting. For the people that have seen this, I think, you know, once in a while, a little repeating of my Bitcoin price prediction might be pretty motivational. So let's not waste any time, and let's take a look at that. So if I go to my Bitcoin price prediction, it's on the wrong screen, so I have my TV right there. I have to check out my screens. So if I go to my Bitcoin price prediction, here we go. Main charts, Bitcoin. All right, so this is Bitcoin right now. What's going on with Bitcoin? Nothing much. By the time you watch this video, this might look completely different, right? But for now, nothing much is going on with Bitcoin. Still sitting around $19,000. 18.5 wouldn't surprise me. At the lowest, you know, 17.6. I don't expect new lows by the time you see this video, but, you know, I might be wrong on that. So, yeah, do with it whatever you want. But I want to show you something very interesting. This is what I showed you yesterday, right? And what I showed you yesterday is this. This is not the right chart. Sorry for that. Let me take a look. I don't have the right chart right here. Go watch yesterday's video. It's the most interesting stuff you'll find, right? Whatever. What I would like to say is that I'm paying a lot of attention to the stochastic RSI. Why? The stochastic RSI is basically an indicator that if it's in the oversold territory, so that's when people are kind of fearful for the market, then you buy, and when it's overbought, you sell it, right? It's now sitting somewhere in the middle, give or take, right? It's more to the upside than the downside, but I do expect some downside for Bitcoin. But that's very short term. I also showed you this, and I'm not going to make the video all about this. I want to make it mainly about altcoins, because I really think we are having some great opportunities. But again, for the people who haven't seen it, or the people that just need some motivational speeches once in a while, in my opinion, Bitcoin is going to at least $200,000 at the next cycle, at least. And I think Bitcoin will top out at the end of 2025. Now, I gave some couple of reasons for that. And it's quite funny that if I now open up my Twitter, I see also people saying kind of the same. Like, okay, Bitcoin might top out end of 2025. What's that based on? Well, just the cycles so far. And then people might argue, yeah, but this time is different. Kind of like yeah. Every time is different from the last time, right? I mean, there's always a narrative for the bear market to be a bear market, basically. But very shortly, these blue lines are the Bitcoin halvings. The next halving is around May, April 2024, but with the current hash rate for Bitcoin, it might be a lot sooner as well. But you know, that's where it is around for now. Now, what usually happens when we look at a halving, if we look at the halving in 2016, for example, we had a halving. Bitcoin didn't do a lot for the next half a year, basically, and after that we went completely parabolic, right? After this halving right here in 2020, also Bitcoin did a whole lot of nothing for a while, and after that it went again parabolic, also from May up till, well, here basically July. Well, we had pump, but it really started pumping also end of that year. So also half a year, something like that, it really started pumping. So when this halving happens, and I'm not saying it happened before, so it happens right now, but these are just statistics, right? And chances are in our favor when it comes to that. So therefore I've drawn this as well. You know, might not happen something for a long while. And after a few months, you know, here we go parabolic. Well, we also looked at how long the parabolic moves will take. Well, and that puts Bitcoin at around a peak in, you know, the last half a year of 2025, whether it's October, December, I don't know. That's something in the region that I expect. You can't time that, right? But give or take. Also, you know, from the, and that's like cycles, how cycles work, right? From the top to the cycle to this top of the cycle, 4 years. From this top to the cycle to that top of the cycle, 4 years. Well, the top of that cycle's before as well, 4 years. Well, if we take a look at this, end of 2021, 4 years later, end of 2025. But what's also very interesting is usually before the halving, like people always say like, oh yeah, the halving is then, so we don't do anything until then. But if you really look at the halvings, right? What happens before the halvings already? We bottomed in the bear market, right? And this was, for example, at $3,300, give or take. And by the time we were at the halving, Bitcoin was at around $10,000. Before the halving, usually a year before the halving, Bitcoin already starts grinding up, right? We go down, we go sideways. And a year before the halving, we start to go up. That's not only this halving. That's every time so far. I don't have the others, but let me show you this. Here as well, in 2016, with bear market, with a sideways movement right here, right? And let me check December and 2013. So this is pretty much where we are right now. You know, could be that we go down still. Could be that we just go sideways. Doesn't matter. But we are now in the boring part. Sorry to say it. But also, again, here we had the halving in July 2016. If we look at July 2015, well, August in this case, 1 month's difference, we already start pumping. And also here we went from around $200 to $800. So we did a, 4x again, and just like that other halving. Before the halving happened, sorry, I'm still sick. It's just not going away. So the halving is quite interesting. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. So what I expect for Bitcoin to do right now, to be completely honest, I expect it to go really boring, sideways, maybe down, but maybe up for around up till May. That's what I expect. And I expect that we have till around May next year to accumulate, to really prepare, to gather money, get 5 jobs, I don't know, but this is going to reward us at the end of the day, right? So this now is the moment we should do something. And then, we finally see Bitcoin making that slow but steady grind. I'm not saying it will happen, but, based on what happens every time so far, that slow but steady grind from that moment up till the halving, where Bitcoin usually does a 4x, right? So slow but steady grind upwards. And then after the halving, all or nothing. And then that parabolic move until end of 2025. That's what I kind of expect for Bitcoin to happen. Why $200,000? Well, yeah, very simple. I have that. Do I have that chart here somewhere? I have the chart here, I guess. Let me take a look. Where do I have my chart? Doesn't really matter though. Why end of 2000? Why $200,000? Well, I'll show you in other videos as well. The average move for Bitcoin from the bottom of cycle 1 to the top of cycle 2 is 60x. That's the average, right? Last cycle it did a 20x, so that wasn't that much. But the cycle before that, it did a 120x. It once did a 17x. That was the baddest that it ever did. The worst, the baddest, badass. It was the worst that it ever did. 17x. But on average, it's a 60x. Best case scenario, we get 120x again. And these moves will be less significant as time goes by. But then again, out of the 5 cycles so far, the not the last cycle, but the cycle before that, so not too long ago, was one of the best cycles, right? So it could still be that Bitcoin does a really nice cycle again, right? So yeah, then you have to calculate like, okay, from the bottom to the top. But what is the bottom, right? If the bottom is already in, that's $17,000, let's say, to round it up, 17, 1, 2, 3, 3, and we do another 60x, that will put Bitcoin at $1 million. But if the bottom, if in the meantime Bitcoin goes lower and we first go to $10,000 and it does 60x, we will have a $600,000 Bitcoin. So I was calculating it like that. Okay, and what if it does, twice as bad as average? Well, still $300,000 Bitcoin. What if it does the same as the last bull run? It does a 17x, $170,000 for Bitcoin. But that's if Bitcoin first goes make a very nosedive new low, right? So that's pretty worst case scenario. So that's a way that I was checking it out. And even if Bitcoin first goes to $10,000, so really like the low that everybody's kind of calling for, that probably won't happen, just like everybody was calling for 100K last year, right? But even if that happens, and we have our worst bull run ahead of us, I don't see a reason why this bull run will be the worst bull run. I mean, once the bear market is over, it kind of probably means that the recession is also over, right? And that the economy is recovering, and that might take a while, right? But we have time. But for some reason, even if Bitcoin does almost twice as bad as the worst cycle so far, well, you know the math, Bitcoin will be $100,000. So that I was making that best case scenario, a realistic case, worst case, and all that. And I felt like, well, $200,000 is it's not the very worst case scenario, but it's the second worst case scenario. And I don't want to get my hopes up because I think it's more realistic to talk about a 400K Bitcoin. But, you know, again, people will call me crazy for it. But I showed you in that video as well, like here when, you know, when we were at these lows, for Bitcoin when it was $200, give or take, like the bottom of that cycle. It's kind of where we are right now with our current 19K, right? If someone said like, yeah, but Bitcoin is going to 20K instead of $200, like $20,000, people will call you even way more crazy because that's an 100x. If I will call an 100x right now, it will put Bitcoin at around $2 million. And that actually happened here, right? And it actually happened a cycle before that as well. So it's not even unrealistic to think that. So, whatever, long story. So my point is, you have to have faith, you have to have patience, right? If you know, like, okay, crypto is not going anywhere, then it's all good. And then these times are really times where you should accumulate, learn, build, work, all that, right? Because we do have time. We just don't know how much time we have. And I think, well, this is my prediction, right? But that's nothing more than a speculation and a prediction. Like nobody can give you the answer until it's finally happened, right? In the meantime, altcoins. Because, yeah, I hold some Bitcoin. You maybe hold some Bitcoin, but my highest bag is not in Bitcoin because I feel like although Bitcoin might do very well, right, from this point, it's just a 10x. And I'll be happy if I 10x my portfolio, of course. But if Bitcoin does a 10x and we do get an alt season somewhere in that region, then there are plays way better than 10x to make, right? And that's what we need to focus on right now. At the moment of recording, therefore, I want to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. And it's kind of happening what I was afraid of. And I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago. The Bitcoin dominance is, you know, doing this, right? And I'm afraid I was right in what I was saying. Well, I'm afraid, you know, it's also like, it's also good. So the Bitcoin dominance, for the people that really don't know, like the more money, the higher the dominance, the more money sitting in Bitcoin instead of altcoins, right? So we have been in this range here since, well, beginning 2021, right? So for 1.5 years, give or take. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, and now it looks like we are going up again, right? And that means people are taking money here out of their altcoins and putting it into Bitcoin, right? But what happens at the same time, Bitcoin is going down, right? If Bitcoin is going up while that happens, right, then, you know, altcoins might go up as well, just not compared to Bitcoin. But what now happens is that Bitcoin, well, it's not going really down, but it's not like it's going up or anything. It's basically going a bit sideways with its chops, but it's going a little down, right? And the dominance is going up. So it means that altcoins are now really starting to bleed. And it depends, what is Bitcoin going to do right now, right? Will it go down even further? Will it go sideways while the dominance is going up? Yeah, then altcoins have a real problem, right? What we might want to see, if we don't want to see our altcoins bleed, is that Bitcoin goes, you know, up or sideways, and that the dominance, you know, if Bitcoin goes up, we want to see that, you know, the dominance is pretty much going sideways or up as well. But if Bitcoin goes sideways, we want to see the dominance going down. Right, but what I kind of expect is that the dominance is working just its way up until the top of this region again. Right, and yeah, that's not going to happen today, tomorrow, next week or anything. Look, I mean, this is the daily chart and it has a lot of work to do. Usually when it's from, you know, down to up, it takes, it was more than 2 months. Here it was 1.5 months. Here it was way longer. It was 143 days. So that's like 5 months. Now we're here, right? We're only 1 month in. So it could be that it's, you know, somewhere, yeah, by the end of the year, maybe. I don't know. It could be way longer than that, though, but it will go back up. And now it's really crucial what Bitcoin does in the meantime, because if it's going how it's going right now, altcoins are really going to bleed. And this is just a very important chart, and I cannot talk about this long enough, although some people think that my videos are too long. Yeah, I understand that, and that's definitely the case. So before we're going to talk about altcoins and my buying points, this is also an important chart to take a look at. This USDT dominance, and the higher this goes, you know, the more money people have sitting into USDT. What I do find very bullish about this chart, like, yeah, it is going up, right? So people taking money out of their cryptos and putting it into USDT. Okay, cool. So the crypto is going down. Yeah. But then again, how can you look at this as well, right? Because this goes back to 2018. We are higher than ever. Like, okay, maybe in June we had that really, when we had the June low, that was a wick, but we are basically sitting at the highest point ever. But what it also could mean is, like, it's sitting in USDT. It's not that people cashed it out to their bank accounts or anything, right? So it could also mean that people just taking the money out of crypto, but they are planning on putting it back into crypto. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sitting in USDT in the first place, right? And this chart is sky high. So I think people, and probably a lot of whales from this chart, are waiting with their money to deploy it into crypto, but they're just waiting. And there are a lot of things that show us that people are waiting, right? Also, if we take a look at the charts for Bitcoin whales, like more than 1,000 Bitcoin in their wallets, right? If we look what happens over the last, well, basically ever since June 2021, there's not much that happens, right, when it comes to the addresses with a lot of Bitcoin. Especially if we take a look at, you know, at now, right? Whales have been dumping their bags in the run-up, right? This wasn't the run-up. This was 2022. So whales have been dumping their bags last month, 2 months ago. But now it looks like, if you zoom out, it's not like crazy or anything. They are kind of waiting as well. Like, whales don't really know what to do. It's no, here we had a big job. Like, whales were, you know, putting in money, right? And they were putting it out again. But it's going a little sideways right now. And I feel like whales are also just waiting to see what's going to happen. Now, I would like to take a look at altcoins, because, you know, altcoins is where I think the money is made. As you can see, this chart reflects, this is the total 3. So this is the crypto market excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. What a hit we took right here. Right, this is a lot. This is quite a lot. We had way bigger hits, right? In August, we went down a lot. This is also quite a hit. So there is, in the altcoin market, in 1 week, it's almost 8% just gone. And like today alone, and it's the beginning of the day here now, at the moment of recording, it's gone down like 4%. So 4% of the entire altcoin market in 1 day is being sold. And the day before, a couple of days before as well. So people are dumping their altcoins. And what's now quite interesting, I have to draw it right, give or take. What's quite interesting is that the altcoin market is nearing its you know, a big support right here. And you could argue that here's also very big support, right? So let's make 2 of these, right? But it's nearing big support. If we break this support right here for altcoins, then I think it is really going down very hard. It's not what you want to hear, but I'm not here to say what you want to hear. I'm just here to say, you know, what the market is doing. And yeah, that's not up to us. The market does what it does, right? If we break this, then I can see altcoins going down all the way to around a $260 billion market cap in total, because that here was the big, you know, support resistance, and here as well. That's the information we have for now. That's a big drop. That's really a big drop. That's a drop of where we are right now of 25%. 25%, right, in altcoins. And it does, don't get me wrong, don't be like, oh, that's not bad. You know, my altcoin's going down 25%. That happens every week. This is the total market, right? Some altcoins will do fine, but some compensate that and will go down to 80%. And most altcoins won't survive. Won't survive that. Well, not most, but a lot of altcoins, probably altcoins you hold, probably altcoins that I hold, won't survive that hit. Because they are going down so much, no new money is going in. They have to maintain the project as long as the bear market takes. At a certain point, they run out of money, they run out of motivation, they give up. They take what's left and they live their life. It's understandable, but not nice, right? I mean, if you look at this week alone, right? Like I said, what was it? An 8% drop in altcoins, right? 8%. Let's take a look at the crypto market at the moment. Because 8% in the last week, right? 7 days. Let's take a look at 7 days. And they're always like these popcorn altcoins. Oh, I hold this token, I think. Nice. There are always these popcorn altcoins that do great. But even already in the top 100, with an 8% drop, Celsius went down 30%. Lido DAO went down 23%. Near Protocol, 20%. Ethereum Classic, 20%. Helium, 20%. The Graph, 17%. 18%. Uniswap, 17%. Axie, and these are the top 100 projects. I'm not even talking about the low caps or the mid caps. These are the high caps, right? So if the high caps on average bleed twice as hard, and these do fine. These do fine. And these compensate that, right? These are the big caps that kind of compensate that. Because if you look right here, a lot of them are not that much down. Like, it's mainly because of these tables though, right? But if already the high caps bleed like 15% when the crypto market comes down 7%, yeah, then I'm afraid that if we go down 25%, which is possible, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I can show you that might indicate that it can happen though. But if this happens, then I can assure you that these high caps by then won't come down 25%. They will come down 50% at least 50, 60%, right? So then if we take a look at for example, Solana, to call something, right? If this happens, and Solana, it kind of already broke trend, I guess, but if Solana goes down another 50, 60% from where it is right now, then we're talking about a $10, $15 Solana. $10, $15 Solana, right? Maybe Solana won't bleed that much. Maybe we are lucky and we can get Solana for $18, right? If we take a look at NEAR, and it comes down, also a high cap coin, and it comes down 50, 60%, right? We're talking about a $1 NEAR, give or take. And these are again, high caps. Low caps will not do great. Low caps will die or be on a ridiculous discount. So it's a matter of your perspective, right? Or you lose your money because you are already too, if this happens, right? Because you are already too deep into these alts. Or you make sure that you prepare, like, I hope it's going up. I think it's going up, but it's mainly because I'm hoping it. But I also want to consider that it's not going up and that it's going down. If you prepare for that, right? So then it's an opportunity. Because let's take a look at page 4. Like here, for example, we have the market caps from 70 to 40, 50, 40. So these are the mid-low caps already, right? If we look at what happened here, 7 days, for example, there you see there are here coins already in the 40%, also 35%, 30%. If we now take a look at, I don't know, man, just random. I have no idea what these numbers are going to be. Let's take a look at the, real low caps, like the ones that can, go up like crazy or go down like crazy. But that's what happens, right? So we are now at the $5 million market cap area, right? If we look what happened, market came down on an average 7%, give or take, right? Also higher in the 30%, right? So that's 4 times as much. Let's say, I don't know, man, that 25% drop in the altcoin market is going to happen. Then it could be that your high risk tokens will go down like another 70-80%. Is that realistic to think? Well, if we take a look right here, for example, this is my, you know, my medium risk. Let's take a look at Chainlink, for example. Is there anything that confirms that that might happen? Well, if we take a look at the stochastic RSI on the weekly now, for example, and it's obviously, right, we are very overbought on that, and that's usually where you want to sell, right? So if we take a look at this, what was the just two last times it happened, right? So here and here. What happened then? Right, so we went from the top to the bottom, right? So the last time it happened from the top to the bottom, well, this was the top, right? Here, this was the highest. That was here. So Chainlink was sitting at $36, and we went down to the oversold territory, right? Now you could argue, where was that? Was that here, or was it actually here? Right? Well, $36. If we take it to here, that's a drop of 57%. And this wasn't that bad, right? If we take it to here, like this area right here where my cursor is sitting, then, sorry, still sick, it's a drop of 84%. Okay. Okay. And this is a, you know, a slightly high cap coin. Time before that, we were overbought was here. This point, right here. So if we take it from there, if we take it from there to the point where we were oversold, was here. 60% drop. So this is kind of confirming that things are not looking so good, right? So we got a little preview today of what happens if the market drops like that. Then this is what altcoins do. So for Chainlink to drop another 60%, does it sound that crazy? And that can put it somewhere between, you know, $3.30 and, well, $2 and $3, let me put it like that. I don't know exactly, of course. But I think altcoins will go down a lot still. That's what I've said in a lot of videos before. Sorry, I have to have some nasal spray or anything because I can't breathe, man. It's so fucked up. Can't use it longer for a week. I'm using it like 7 years already, or I don't know. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to talk about because we have these little relief rallies and everything is looking good and people are getting bullish again and they will talk about 25K Bitcoin and now we're going down again and people talk about 10K Bitcoin and all that. People are getting the sentiment all over the place. But just when I look at this, I feel like, okay, let's be realistic. We don't know, but if I look at this, I want to be prepared for a big altcoin move. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a lot of things indicate that it's probably happening, right? So really put up your trading view, check out the stochastic RSI and the weekly, and especially the things that are, you know, around the overbought territory. Consider not buying it right now, at least, right? And if you're already holding it back, yeah, depends on how much cash you have left, right? Because I know you don't want to sell with a loss, but the altcoin market today is looking very terrible, very, very, very terrible. And it is basically not really that significant yet. So yeah, we could go down a lot lower than that. And this is just my first target. If we really have bad luck, then we will see it here, right? 180 billion. That's a 50% drop from here. That will send all altcoins to the trash, to be honest. But to end it positive, that's also a very good buying opportunity, because if you know a certain project is good and it will survive, for example, Rune, I don't know, just calling something, right? If you feel like, okay, yeah, but Rune is a great project, cool, you can now get it for 142. But maybe you can get it also for like 80 cents soon, right? Pretty realistic in my opinion. So that is what I wanted to talk about. Be prepared, watch out. Again, I'm not saying it going to happen, but yeah, try to keep in consideration that it might. For now, long enough. If you want more daily content, subscribe to the channel. I'll try to make my videos a little shorter than this, by the way. I know you don't have the time for it. For now, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.